Hi, welcome back to Jane's Stories of Life. It is December 31st, 2025. We're wrapping up another year, so it is New Year's Eve. One of the things that I've been watching this week on the news, there's been a lot of coverage about the weather. And as you know, I grew up in the mighty Midwest, Ohio most of my life, 2 years in Iowa, 2 years in Michigan. And I grew up in a lot of cold and snow and wind and all the things that I keep seeing on the news. And then, of course, there were the 21 years that we lived in Schenectady, New York, 150 miles north of New York City. So there we really experienced winter weather. I'll never forget, when I watched the things this week on the news, I kept thinking, wow, how did we deal with that all those years? But you kept going. You had to. But I'll never forget that one Sunday night, we had 20 inches of snow in Schenectady. That Monday, the Schenectady City Schools opened as usual. It was a district with all neighborhood schools, no busing. They didn't have to worry about the icy conditions and snow for school children riding buses, and so we were open. One of the things that they would do in that area every winter when we had heavy snows, they would plow the streets. The snow would go into dump trucks. They would take it to the park, dump it in the park, and so sometimes even in July, those mounds of snow were still melting away. But life went on, the things did not slow down much because of snow. Ice was a different matter. And I also remember the time that I went sliding off of the highway, did a 180, slammed into a snowbank where my car was wedged, and it was facing the oncoming traffic on that highway. That was a scary experience. But otherwise, that's what it was. You were used to it. So today, here in Florida, it was Florida cold. It was 37 degrees this morning. I had a doctor's appointment, and the wind chill was 34, and I pulled on my heavy sweatshirt, Eagles, go Eagles, and a jacket over this, and I had to laugh. All those years I managed, but Florida cold is a different thing altogether. The other thing I thought about on New Year's Eve, as a family, we always spent part of New Year's Eve talking about the events of the year gone by, the things that were memorable, and what we were looking forward to in the following year. We wrote those down every year. We looked at those papers, every year to see what we had said the year before. And so I was thinking about this past year in my life. Last New Year's Eve and New Year's Day and a couple days thereafter, I was in Charleston, South Carolina. I had gone to the celebration of my soror, Mitzi Lawrence's 80th birthday. And so that's why I spent that. This will be my 7th New Year's Eve, New Year's Day here in Kissimmee. And, it doesn't seem like it's been 7 years, but it has. So that's memorable as well. Some of the things this past year, I've been on 2 cruises, which is always a highlight of my year. May and December. Those are the months I like to cruise around the holidays and then also my birthday. A number of people came to Florida, as they do, and popped in or called and said, I'll be there next week. Let's meet for lunch. That's always special for me. I joined a book club, the virtual book club this year, and I'm enjoying that very much. I'm looking forward to doing more reading. I became active again in pool yoga aerobics at the hospital in the heated therapy pool. And so, it's been a year of some exciting things. Of course, with every year, life happens. There were some times that were trying, some challenges. Sadly, there are some friends that were with us last time at this time last year who are no longer living, and that's always the hard part. But we're blessed. Every day is a blessing. So the memories that I shared with some of those friends live on, even though they may not be here. I guess the other thing, I guess that's really about all I was thinking about today. Football watching, of course. Tonight is the Cotton Bowl. Ohio State will be playing at 7:30, so I'll be popping popcorn and yelling about that. I guess the other thing that was special recently, my grandson Dominique, who was in Poland last year in the Army and is on his way to Japan for 4 years, was here 2 weeks ago. John and his son Grant were here last weekend. My granddaughter was here for Thanksgiving dinner, and so family and memories are always special to me. So I hope that as you go into the new year, you will be blessed with good health, blessed with good memories, make new memories, and cherish those memories and pass them on, and be sure that you are reflecting on all the blessings that God keeps giving you and challenges that he keeps bringing you through. I know we certainly had some real challenges this year, far more than far more than you ever know. So that's it. Happy New Year. Stay healthy, stay warm, cherish your memories, and pass them on.